Hey guys, and welcome to JavaScript multiplication timetable. Okay, supposing I want to enter all times table, there we go. Let's make that times table there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Notepad++, and I'll show you how to put this together. So I'll show you how to put together a button, a selector, more or less a list box, a text input, and the labels. So let's do that now, guys. I'm going to open up Notepad++. And first of all, I will declare the document type, which is going to be HTML. Then let's enter the HTML tag as well. HTML tag. Get rid of this. Next, I'm going to enter head. And let's close both the head and the HTML. I'm going to close the head as well. All right. Enter slash indent to get it closed. Next, I'm going to enter the title. So let's come right in here and just my title is going to be multiplication timetable. Next, I'm going to enter this CSS style I intend to use, which stands for cascading style sheet. So let's end this one as well underneath here. Now for the body, for the main body, I'm just going to enter body in there, and let's do this right here. First of all, let's introduce the fonts family. So I'm going to say that's the font family I intend to use. So the font family I intend to use, I'm going to make that Seagull. So you can add as many as you want. So the reason why I'm going to add as many as I want is because it will actually give the browser the priority of which font is available to be used. So more or less depending on what is available on your system. So I'm just going to enter those other fonts. Next, I'm going to just enter the width. I'm going to make that about 300 pixels. And the margin, that should be, which is going to be more or less like this space. I'm going to make that about, say, 2450. So 50 pixels. And it's going to be auto every. There will. And the border, I'm going to make the border 1 piece pixels. That will be it's going to be solid. And let's give it a color. Let's say CCC, that will do. There we go. That's for the bottom. Next, the padding. Make that about 20 pixels. And then I'm going to enter box shadow. That will run the system itself. Let's say it's going to be 0 by 0, 8 pixels. And we made the color A. Yeah. Okay, you can always play around with that. Just change the color and see what will happen. Alright, that is for the system itself. Next, let me save this. But before I save it, you see here on the Notepad++ where you have the language, select the language, and right here you have HTML. Go to the H and then select HTML. And I will then go to file and just save it. Let's save it as timetable. YT. Save. Okay, I'm now going to create my label. So let's say the label. So the CSS code for the label will be as follows. First of all, let's say the display is going to be solid. Okay. So make that block as the display. Close that. Then the font width, I can make that bold. Width, make it bold. And the margin between it is going to be bottom. And let's enter font size as well. Font size, let's make that size. And that should be maybe about 15 pixels. 16, that will do. Let's do this. Let's arrange it. Yeah. And the margin, I can make that bottom. And that will be dash bottom. I make that about 5 pixels. Right, that is done. So what about the inputs? The input is like the text box. Okay, let's just get this indented. This is one. Okay, let's do the input. Come right down here. And I'm going to say the input type, that is going to be text input. And enter a square bracket, and the type is going to be equals text. So that we can enter value into it. Next, the width. I'm going to make the width about 100 and the padding and so on. So let's grab it. Make that about 100. I may have to change that to 100. Okay, then padding. Let's go for, oh, look at this padding here. That is supposed to be padding. Right. This padding is 300 here. And for that padding for the inputs, let's make that about 620, might be too much. 6 should be fine. Then the font, I can just grab all of this. Make it blue, that's right. Font and the margin, yeah, let's grab all of this. Paste it in there. Okay, and let's make this one about 15. Now, let's close that up. Then we need a select. Select is like our list. It's like the list box that I intend to use. So the width, the heights, and I can just grab all of these anyway. Just grab all of them, delete what I don't need. Dump it right there. So the width is going to be about that. That's fine. And padding, let's get rid of padding. I would need that. Fonts, I'm going to make it about 16. Bold, okay, that's fine. All right. So just one more is left now. We need to take care of the button. Come right down here. So for the button, just say button. And that is going to be I'm going to need about, I'm going to need the width, padding, size, and so on. Yeah, grab all of this, dump it right there. And width is 100, padding, you can make that about 10 for the button. The font, 16, and make that bold. What about background color? Yeah, let's enter background color for it. Come right on, just say background color. The background color, I'm going to make it white. You can always change it. I'll change it and see what's going to happen. Okay, the background color is white. Now let's say the border. Border is 2 pixels, and that should be solid. And let's say the color is going to be 007 EFF. Okay, color, make that black. And there will have to be a pointer there. So we're gonna say cursor. That should be a pointer. Okay. There. And that takes care of the CSS codes. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do one thing for this very button. I'm going to enter over. So when my mouse is on top of it, I just want it to change color kind of. So I'm going to grab hold of this and say button over. Yeah, button over. I can get rid of the mess. And this will be button. And we don't need all of these. I just need the background. So what color should it change to? We can make it the same color. We add this, copy and paste it right here. Yeah. Okay. And this will remain what no, we change this to white in that case. Grab hold of this and just change it to white. Get rid of this. Alright. So that is done. Okay, so let's change this to a semicolon. There should be semicolon here. Alright, let's see. I'll be now. Don't semicolon, semicolon here as well. See this one here, missing as well. Down here. Okay, I think I'm on the right path now. Yeah. Okay. So now let's take care of our the main body for the program. So we'll come down here and just say body. And that is going to be as follows. I'm going to start by entering my title. Let's grab hold of this. Yeah, just grab hold of all of these. Right, and just change that to H2. That's going to be for the size. H2 here. So, right. So now let's start by creating our object. The first one is going to be the label. And I'm just going to keep that label in and call it LBL. So label, come right down. Oh, LBL table. That. And in there, what should appear in there is going to be enter a number. So that's going to be what you'll be seeing on the label. Enter a number. Right. That. Okay. Now what about the input? As for the input, that is going to be txt. I'm going to grab all of this. It has to be txt. Come right down here and say for my input pipe equals text. And the ID for that is going to be txt times table. Put that in it. Then the placeholder will equals enter a number. Enter a number. There we go. That is taken care of. Next is going to be for the selector. Okay, for the selector, let's get this thing indented. I'll leave that there and just indent the others. Right, come right down here. Select the ID for that. That is going to be ID. That should be equals. I'll just change all of these to LBL. No, LST. That will be the distance. LST. Okay. Oh, we can call this table. LST is fine. So size 12. And let's close off select. Good. Next is going to be the button. So let's do this. Rather of everything, right? Paste changes to button. And the ID is going to be btn. Button. Now do of this. And there should be a text in there. The text should be times table. Is that in it? Yeah. I'll take care of the button as well. Yeah, that's fine. Next, now let's create our script. So in JavaScript, that will take care of all the functions and so on. Script. Do that. And it's now I'm going to have to declare some functions. Okay, so let's create some one function first for the text box here. So look, that's going to be a constant. I mean, it's a constant. constant txt times table. That is going to be equal document dot get elements by id. Yeah, that is the very first one. Next is going to be for the text box button, taking care of the text. This should be btn, and changes to btn as well. And next is going to be for the list box. This whole select is now called list box, but this is just the name I gave to it. All right, so come right down here and change this. Right, so that is done. So we now need to create the table text. Let's say txtTimetable. Okay, I would like you to listen to whatever is added. Add event listener. Event listener. So when you enter data, the system will definitely recognize it. And what we expect it to do is click comma. Yeah. I will say the text box is called txt display, no txt times table dot value, and that will be equals nothing. Then we also want you to focus as well. Dot focus. Parentheses. There we go. Right, that takes care of my txt times table. Close out the bracket as well. Okay. Next is going to be that of the button. So we want the button to listen as well. Okay, so I'm going to grab hold of, yeah, let's grab hold of these. Just missed it right underneath here. So this one will become btn. Yeah, I would like you to listen. Okay, add event listener when it's clicked. Okay, and when it's clicked, we then want constant input, and that is going to be equals txt times table dot value dot train, yeah, and lst times table dot inner html, that will be equals nothing. But supposing the input is empty, so there I'm going to then say if input is empty, I want the system to display a message. So let's come down here and just say if input equals empty, and in that case we want the system to alert the end user, say you must enter a number. Then, so that's the message. And we then want you to set focus right here. Grab all of this. Set focus on the text. Okay, so once you set focus, want it to return. There we go. That is that one. Now let's create a constant here. I'm going to call this constant Q, and that is going to be equals. When we pass the input, we want it converted to an integer. So pass int. Okay, whatever is entered in here, it's converted to an integer and is stored in Q right here. Okay, and let's come back underneath here and use an if statement. If is none and dot Q, we say alert, please enter a value. So can grab hold of an alert again, paste that in here. So we can just change that and say, please enter a valid number. Please enter a valid number just in case. So we also want you to set focus though. Grab hold of this also to set focus. And the value should be clear to 0 anyway. So let's clear up the value. So clear that to 0. Just in case if you enter any garbage in there. And that is equals clear. Right. And return. That and just paste it right under here. Alright. So that is taken care of. Next. We're going to use a for loop now. There's a for let I equals 1. Then I is going to be less than and equals to 12. So that is for the number 1 to 12. Then we just need to say I plus plus. Okay, that will generate my 1 to 12. And in here we say constant option. That will be equals document dot create element, and that is going to be option. Then option text will be equals. That will be equals enter sign in there, $sign, and enter I here. Then let's use a multiplication sign, $sign again. Then I'm going to enter the Q. Right, so that will display 1 to 12. This will display whatever value is entered. And I will then say equals $sign, multiply these two together for me. Okay, so let's copy that and change it to run. Dump it there and just say multiply this. And that is it. There. Then we now want the value to be stored in the list box. But that's my list box here. Okay, it's actually called select. So I call it list box. That's what I'm kind of like used to. So then list. There we go. I think that is it. So close that. I'm also going to close this again and Close that. Then the script is closed. We now need to close the body right underneath here. So close the body. There. All right, guys. Let's just try this out. I'm going to save it first. Just want to see how it's going to. That is it right here. Double click on that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is meant to be updated. Let's enter. I'm not going to enter anything in here. You must enter a number. Okay, that works. Let's enter a number in there. Oh, that's working. That's fine. Okay, you see this button? It's meant to be all the way to this. Minimize it on my button. Yeah, let's go and look at the button. Button size. No, get that. Button size. Get rid of that. Save. I'm going to run it now. Let's see. It's going to look like refresh. Right. So let's go back here. Let's go right up in there. See. Right. You see, we have selects. I need the height is missing. Height. And that is going to be, we'll make that about, let's make about 280 pixels. Okay. Save. Also going to change the margin to 20. Okay. Just notice one error here. Instead of 100% pixels, that should have been percent. Okay, and this should be percent as well. This should be percent as well. Okay, hopefully, I think I must be sorted by now. Let's run it and see. Save, and we just run it home. Okay, that is it. Let's refresh. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. So enter whatever in there. There we go. That's my multiplication timetable. No, that's invalid. Brilliant. Look at that, guys. And that is how you create your own multiplication timetable in JavaScript. I'm going to show you guys the lines of codes again, then I'll call it the end of this tutorial. So take it from the top and bring it right down. There. Okay. I suppose you guys can see it. So guys, with that, I'm going to call it the end of this brilliant tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. You all have a nice day now. And please do subscribe to my channel, guys. Come on. You can also subscribe to the channel. It's a brilliant tutorial. So I'm going to say bye for now. You all have a nice day. And I'll be back with more tutorial. Bye.